Every year, thousands of individuals from Asia travel to the United States to study, work, or reunite with family. But by 2025, that opportunity may vanish for many. President Donald Trump is proposing sweeping immigration changes that could block several Asian countries from sending people to the U.S. These proposed restrictions target countries that, according to Trump's team, fail to meet key security, documentation, or deportation standards. For some, this could mean frozen visa programs, halted student exchanges, and separated families. Let's break down the 7 Asian countries that may face a U.S. immigration freeze in 2025 and explore the reasons behind these decisions and what's at stake. Number 1. Laos. A breakdown in trust. Laos is under scrutiny for what U.S. officials call weak passport controls and questionable document issuance. The concern? People with false or unclear identities could be slipping through the system. Beyond document issues, Laos often refuses to take back its citizens who overstay or break immigration laws in the U.S. This lack of cooperation strains American facilities and raises security concerns. If Trump's plan is enacted, Laotian nationals could lose access to student and work visas. Families may be torn apart, and Laos's own economy may suffer as fewer people send remittances home or return with global education and experience. The U.S. is demanding better transparency, stronger border cooperation, and a faster response to deportation cases. If Laos continues on its current path, it risks more than just lost visas. It could lose strategic partnerships and goodwill from the international community. Cooperation on immigration is often a bellwether for broader diplomatic trust. If Laos wants to remain globally relevant and benefit from educational exchange, trade, and security collaboration, it must take decisive steps toward accountability and mutual respect. Number 2. Cambodia. Human rights and accountability. Cambodia's potential inclusion on Trump's ban list centers on 2 major issues: a poor human rights record and resistance to deportation agreements. Officials argue that a government that restricts freedom cannot be trusted to vet travelers or issue secure documents. The consequences are deeply personal. If restrictions are imposed, Cambodian students may lose scholarships. Workers could lose opportunities. Families may face years of separation. Moreover, Cambodia risks losing global trust, not just from the U.S., but other democratic nations. A travel ban could hurt the economy, damage tourism, and delay international investment. The U.S. expects serious improvements: tighter security, better deportation policies, and a real commitment to civil rights. The potential visa ban is more than a political move, it's a wake-up call. Cambodia stands at a crossroads: either address its internal governance and human rights concerns or face mounting international isolation. Real reforms could open doors to new opportunities and trust, while continued defiance may lead to long-term damage that affects not only diplomacy, but the future of its people. Number 3. Myanmar. Chaos and consequences. Since the military coup in 2021, Myanmar has been mired in political unrest, violent crackdowns, and human rights violations, especially against minority groups like the Rohingya. For the U.S., the situation makes Myanmar an unreliable immigration partner. Without a stable government, how can proper background checks be guaranteed? Worse, Myanmar reportedly refuses to take back deported citizens. If visa restrictions move forward, students, professionals, and families will be the first to feel the impact. The flow of talent, remittances, and humanitarian relocation could halt. For a country already isolated, losing U.S. connections may deepen the crisis. Will Myanmar begin addressing these concerns or continue down a path of increasing isolation? For Myanmar's younger generation and professionals yearning for global exposure, these restrictions could be devastating. Education, medical treatment, and international work experience are often lifelines in countries under authoritarian control. Cutting access to the U.S. would not only isolate individuals, it would risk creating a lost generation without tools to rebuild a democratic future. Number 4. Thailand. A test of human rights values. Thailand's trouble with U.S. immigration policy traces back to a controversial decision: deporting 45 Uyghur refugees back to China in 2015. Human rights groups condemned the move, and the U.S. imposed sanctions. Trump's team argues this action shows Thailand's vulnerability to foreign pressure and a lack of commitment to refugee protection. As a result, its immigration system is now under scrutiny. New U.S. visa restrictions could affect Thai students, skilled workers, and tourism, a sector just beginning to recover post-pandemic. Families could be separated, and universities may lose valuable international talent. The message is clear. Human rights violations have diplomatic consequences. Thailand must decide whether to uphold international norms or risk losing access to one of its most valuable global partners. Thailand has long been considered a bridge between East and West, but decisions like the 2015 deportation put that reputation at risk. Upholding refugee rights and due process is not just a humanitarian obligation, it's a strategic advantage. If Thailand chooses principle over pressure, it could strengthen its standing as a responsible regional leader in Southeast Asia. Number 5. Pakistan. National security in the spotlight. Pakistan's inclusion is based largely on national security concerns. For years, U.S. officials have accused the country of harboring extremist groups. Although Pakistan has taken steps to fight terrorism, Trump's team argues it's not enough. Compounding the issue is Pakistan's weak cooperation on deportation. Some nationals who overstay or break immigration laws are reportedly not accepted back, placing additional burdens on U.S. facilities. The fallout could be significant. Thousands of Pakistani students and professionals could lose access to U.S. institutions and job markets. Families may face painful separation. Diplomatic relations, already strained, could worsen, affecting everything from trade to military collaboration. While critics argue this approach punishes ordinary people, Trump's stance remains firm. American safety comes first. While Pakistan may view the proposed restrictions as unfair, inaction only deepens mistrust. By actively improving transparency, collaborating on repatriation, and cracking down on extremist ties, Pakistan can not only safeguard its citizens abroad, but also reshape its image as a reliable global partner. The alternative, a deepening freeze in U.S. relations, risks isolating future generations. Number 6. Vietnam. A tense legal dispute. Vietnam has grown into one of Asia's economic powerhouses, but its cooperation with U.S. deportation orders is lacking. Many Vietnamese nationals who arrived decades ago and never became U.S. citizens now face deportation, but Vietnam has reportedly refused to accept them. This refusal is seen as a failure to take responsibility. Trump's proposed response? A visa freeze. The impact could be far-reaching. Students locked out of U.S. campuses, workers unable to renew visas, and families unable to reunite. Vietnam's own development may stall as fewer citizens gain exposure to global training and professional environments. Vietnam argues that many deportees are no longer citizens. But the U.S. insists that if someone was born there, they must be accepted back. It's a legal and diplomatic standoff that could redefine the future of U.S.-Vietnam relations. This impasse places thousands of lives in legal limbo and stalls bilateral progress. Vietnam's emerging role on the world stage demands a mature, cooperative stance on international responsibilities. Re-engaging with deportation protocols could rebuild trust and reopen doors that benefit both Vietnamese nationals and the broader diplomatic relationship with the United States. Number 7. Afghanistan, the top target for a full ban. Afghanistan tops the list for one overwhelming reason: security. Following the return of Taliban rule, U.S. officials say the Afghan government can no longer provide reliable background checks. This opens the door, they argue, to serious security risks. Deportation is another issue. Many Afghan nationals cannot be returned because of instability and the Taliban's control, which disrupts standard immigration processes. A full ban would block Afghan refugees, students, and workers from entering the U.S. entirely. Humanitarian advocates fear it would punish innocent people fleeing persecution and conflict. Still, the Trump administration maintains that without reliable systems in place, the U.S. cannot afford to take chances. The tragedy lies in how a blanket ban would sweep up those most in need of protection, women, students, journalists, and former U.S. allies fleeing danger. A nuanced approach, one that distinguishes between security risks and humanitarian cases, could preserve American safety without abandoning those who once stood by its side. Failing that, the U.S. risks undermining both its moral credibility and strategic alliances. These proposed immigration restrictions are not just policy, they're personal. They impact students pursuing their dreams, workers building futures, and families hoping to reunite. For each of these 7 nations, the stakes are high and the consequences are real. Will these countries step up, reform, and cooperate with U.S. immigration standards? Or will relations deteriorate further, closing one of the most powerful doors to opportunity? Only time will tell. Let us know in the comments. Where are you watching from? If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay informed. Stay curious.